Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and today we're making challah. Now, I struggled for a very long time with how to pronounce this word. Right here, it looks like challah, but it's actually challah, and there's kind of a guttural little h in it. And I am confident that this is the way you pronounce it because several years ago when I actually wanted to do this recipe, but I've been so intimidated, I polled my friends, and one of my friends had another friend whose name is Chanie, spelled, as you can guess, C-H-A-N-I-E. And she was like, yes, I will show your subscribers how to accurately say this word. So check out this cute little video from Chanie.
My name is Chanie, so I'm very qualified to answer your question. It's challah. Would you like a slice of challah?
Now, I asked Chanie to give me that pronunciation back in September of 2020. I'm no good at math, but I know that 2020 is a long way from 2023. That being said, I figured now is a great time to conquer this fear of challah with you on my channel in this adventure. So if you're ready to adventure and braid some challah, let's get started. What you're gonna need is 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of instant rapid yeast, 2 teaspoons of salt, 3/4 of a cup of lukewarm water, 6 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 6 tablespoons of honey, 2 eggs plus 1 egg yolk at room temperature, and 1 extra egg at room temperature set off to the side. You're also going to need some oil to coat your bowl. All right, you guys, I have decided to use the new Pampered Chef Deluxe electric mixer so that I could set it to knead and I have no guesswork. You can use any mixer you want, but I'm gonna use this one. So confession time, I've already made this because I was so nervous. So I practiced plaiting once, and here is that video of my practice plait. That's actually bandanas and quarters, like quilt quarters, that I braided all together, and I think I have it down. Well then, being confident in this thing here, I decided to go ahead and try out the recipe one time because I didn't want to look like a fool doing challah. I wanted to actually do this and be like, hey, you guys, this is legit. You need to make it, and this is why. So then, here you go. Here is my plaited, finished first loaf of challah. Isn't it pretty? I think it's great, and it tasted fantastic. It was probably the best sandwich bread I've ever eaten. So there's the transparency. Usually I try to do everything all together, but this time I had to practice it because I was so nervous. Okay, anyway, into the stand mixer, we're gonna put all of our flour, our salt, and our yeast. And we're gonna let the mixer mix it up just for about 30 seconds. Meanwhile, while that's mixing, we're gonna take our very warm water, which needs to be about 110 or so, our honey, and all of our oil. Okay, so once that's all mixed together nicely, we are going to add this to our mixer. All right, we were supposed to beat up those eggs too, so I'm gonna go ahead and beat them up with my little whisker. Okay, we'll add those to the middle of the mixer as well. All right, and now, if you are not using the electric stand mixer from Pampered Chef, you're gonna have to time this out to be about 5 to 7 minutes, but since we're gonna use their knead function, I'm just gonna turn it to knead and let it go. So let's go ahead and do cancel, and then we're gonna go down to knead, and then I'm just gonna go, yep, 8 minutes, and that's gonna do its thing, and I'll clean up. All right, let's get this dough out. Now, this dough is gonna be very sticky and you're gonna think it's wrong. It's not wrong. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to flour my hands just a little bit, and I'm going to pull the dough off of the hook, and then I'm gonna use some kind of scraper to get the dough onto my lightly floured pastry mat. There you go. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna lightly dust it. I did get my little sieve out to see if I would use that, but I just used my hands and I guess that's gonna be just fine. And now we are going to lightly knead it into a ball. So it's not gonna take very much, and as you can see, it looked really, really sticky, but now it is not sticky at all. So now that we have this beautiful ball, we wanna make it into a smooth ball. So we'll just pick it up and push it over a couple times. And if you feel like it's sticking, dust it a little bit more so that it doesn't stick to your hands. But you definitely want a smooth ball. And mine looks actually pretty smooth right now. All right, once your smooth ball has been achieved, we are going to take our well-oiled bowl here, and we are going to drop our dough down inside of it, and then we're gonna turn it over a couple times because we want to make sure that it is oiled all over. And then I'm gonna take some of that same oil and I'm going to put it on the lid or the piece of saran wrap that you're gonna use for your bowl. I'm gonna use my stretch fit lid because I love using it. And now we're gonna let it sit here and relax for about 2 to 3 hours or until it is doubled in size. Okay, welcome back. Our dough has been resting and rising for about 3 hours. And it has definitely doubled in size. So now we are going to pour it out onto our counter, and it is gonna deflate a little, but we're gonna start working with it anyway. So don't worry about like punching it down or deflating it quite yet. Now, there are a couple of recipes out there that some do 4 plats, some do 6. I did 6 because I thought it just looked more beautiful. So we're just gonna divide our dough in half, and then we're gonna divide it in 3 parts after that. So I'm just going to make my first cut right down the center. Next, we are gonna just divide it right like this. And I'm gonna weigh these out probably because I really do want them to be as even as possible. But again, you do you, but as you can see, I'm not very good about portioning this out, and it'll be fine if I like put some with something else. We'll just put, there we go. So they're about a 185 each. Okay, you didn't have to do that step. That's just what I did. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to stretch this out, and it's fine. We'll stretch that in. It'll all become the same anyway. We're going to stretch it out, and we're gonna roll it and stretch it into 20 inches. Now I moved my mat this direction because when I braid, I'm gonna start from up there and go this way. But it looks like 20 is going to be, oh, that's not enough. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn it this direction and roll this direction because I don't have enough room to, and then I'll turn it to its side. Okay, we're gonna stretch this to the 20 mark. Now it's kind of important that it's all kind of the same. So if you get this fat bit over here, try to like work it in so that it's all generally the same. Because I did have, the first time I did have some areas that maybe weren't all the same, and you could definitely tell, but it's all right. But we'll just work these into the best looking ropes that we can. And we don't have to be real careful because we're deflating the dough on purpose as we roll these out. And if it pulls back on you into less than 20, you can just pull on it again. It'll try to be a little crabby at you, but that's okay. All right, do we have, that one's still a little thin, but that's okay. You just need them to be even. So if they're not even, pull on them a little bit and they'll try to shrink back, but try to get them at least to the 20-inch mark. Okay, all right, now I'm gonna turn my mat so that I can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can remember all of the things that I have learned over the last couple weeks. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna seal the tops together. So we'll pick this up, stretch it just a little bit over there, and we're gonna pinch those ends together. Because it's not going to matter when it re-rises again, and we're going to tuck that under, and that's fine. Okay, now you're going to need lots of patience and a little bit of knowledge. You're going to cross one way, then the other, and then go to the middle. All right, so we're going to take our skinny son here. We're going to go over here, and then we're going to take this guy, and we're going to go over here. And then we are gonna take, hold on. Am I remembering right? I printed out a little paper. So I did it kind of backwards. So let me rewind just a second. Okay, so my paper says this one first. So cross this way, then cross this way. I know I literally just did that, but I did it opposite. Okay, so we cross this way and this way. And then the yellow one is going to come down to the middle. Yep, okay. Then we're going to take this one, go this way. Oh my goodness, why can't I remember all of a sudden? Then we're taking this one to the middle. Okay. And then, oh, I just broke the dough. This is going to... Okay, did I figure it out? I think my brain got it. I think I finally got it. Okay. So every time we cross over, we have to bring down and move over. I feel like that's wrong, but it's fine because it's just bread. I feel like we're close. I think I missed one right here, but that's okay. It's fine. We got it now. So you have to cross and then bring to the middle after it's crossed. See that? Cross, bring to the middle. That one's going to be so thin. Oh man. It is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. We're just going to keep going, Heather. This one goes down. And then we are going to bring this one final over here. Final down. And then we're going to squish this all together and tuck it under. So, whew, okay, it's not the most perfect, and we're going to tuck this one under too. Not the most perfect braid you've ever seen, but as we squish it together, it gets a little better. Down here it got a little thin. It's fine though. See, it's fine. Okay, now comes the hard bit. We are going to carefully put it, I don't know why we didn't just do it on parchment paper to begin with, but it is what it is. So we are going to carefully put it onto our baking tray. And I'm going to put it sideways because last time I made it, it will grow to twice its size. So look at that, you guys. Not bad for almost losing my mind. Because I couldn't remember. For the life of me, I couldn't remember. But Lauren Monaco from Pinterest, she printed out a little cheat sheet here and I color coordinated it. So it helped me to figure it out. Okay, now that it's done, we are gonna cover it with plastic wrap. Now I don't want it to stick to my challah at all. So I'm going to spray with cooking oil and I'm going to lightly cover. We're gonna let this rest for at least an hour or until it is doubled in size. Could take about an hour and a half depending on the temperature of your kitchen, but definitely make sure it's not tight because you're gonna need some room for it to expand. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover one more piece going this way so it doesn't get too drafty, and we'll be back. Okay, we are risen and puffy. And oh my goodness, if you look at it from this angle, you can see all the nice plaits. At the very beginning, it looks like I missed one, but we're just gonna ignore that one. But the rest of it looks really good and really puffy. That's exactly what you want. Now we're going to cover it with some beaten egg. So we're basically going to egg wash this whole thing. Now, the first time I did it, I was kind of gentle with the egg wash and I didn't go all the way down to the bottom. Make sure that when you're egg washing, take your brush and go all the way to the bottom of the pan. And that's because as it rises, that will become very evident that you didn't egg wash there. So learn from my first mistake when I made it in practice. I also feel like I should have shoved it more together so it wasn't so spread out. I mean, I shoved it kind of together. You saw me shove it together, but I think I should have even shoved it a little further. All right. Okay, now into a preheated 350 oven. It's going to go for anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes. It's going to really depend on your oven and your recipe, really. This recipe, it took about 35 minutes, and how you know it's done is you can stick a thermometer right between the plats on the side. Don't do the top because then it'll ruin the prettiness, but if you stick a thermometer in there, should read about 200 degrees, and then you know it is perfectly done. All right, you guys, welcome back, and check out this beautiful challah bread. If you just pretend that you don't see the one where I kind of got confused and panicked, it looks almost perfect. I have been letting it cool now for about 30 minutes, so it is time to cut this thing, see what's inside, and I will show you how beautiful this bread actually is. I mean, wow. Got a little overzealous with that egg wash because I didn't want it to not have an egg wash on it, but it looks like I covered everything pretty well with egg wash. I was looking to try to find anywhere that I missed it, and I didn't miss any of it. I just went a little bit cray-cray with the amount that I used, but I did not want it to be because it looks real dull and just not as beautiful as it looks right here. Isn't that beautiful? I love challah very much, and I feel like I did it justice. Just don't look at that section right there. That is beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut into it. I'm gonna cut a couple slices just so that you can see all the way through what it is. Now, this is the perfect sandwich bread. When I made it the last time, we ate sandwiches with it, and it was so good. But are you ready for this? Dun, dun, dun. Look at that soft, beautiful bread right there. And it is flavored with that honey flavor, so it is absolutely fantastic and very delicious to eat as well. So let's see. I just want to maybe cut off, there we go, cut off that little bit of egg. That was my bad, but so soft, so delicious. I don't know what it is about challah. It is so good. It is so moist, it's so soft, and it just has that little bit of honey flavor. This is so good. And as you can see by looking on the inside of this, you can't see where it was braided because it all grows together, but the top stays that beautiful braid or the plaiting. Isn't that amazing? So you guys, this is challah bread. I'm so glad that I decided to adventure like this because before I really was intimidated about all that braiding, but once you get it down, and don't panic yourself in the middle of a video, and you will get this beautiful, beautiful challah bread. Well, Chanie, I really appreciate that you took the time out of your day to let me know how to pronounce this correctly. And I love that this adventure has turned out the way it has. I'm super glad that I tried it. And I think that the next time I make challah bread, I am gonna make it cinnamon and sugar. But isn't that beautiful? I love it. I hope you enjoyed that adventure. If you did, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I do videos several times a week, and I'm always looking for the next adventure. And sometimes the adventure follows me for years and years and years until I try it. Like, hello, challah. So if you have any ideas for me, I am always looking for a new idea. So leave it in the comments below. All right, you guys, I guess I will see you on the next adventure. Bye.